Greetings to all fellow seniors and cultivators. So, let's get right into it. Think about this for a second. When you do a good deed, what's really behind it? I mean, we all try to be good people, right? But have you ever really stopped and wondered why? Are we looking for some kind of cosmic payback down the line, or is there something else, something deeper going on? That's the big question we're going to tackle today. To kick things off, we're going to look at a really practical idea. It's this concept of merit, almost like it's a kind of spiritual money. It's a really concrete way to start thinking about this whole thing. And trust me, it's the first step on a pretty deep dive into the real intention behind our actions. Okay, so when someone decides to formally enter the Tao, there's this thing called the fee of merit. And look, it's so important to get this right from the start. This is not just about money. Think of it more as a formal gesture. The source texts say it's a way to show your heart is sincere. It's like a pledge, a sign that you are truly committed to this new path. And here's a great way to picture it. It's like you're opening a heavenly savings account. Seriously, that initial offering, that's your first deposit. It's not about buying your way into heaven or anything like that. No. It's about setting up the account, laying down a spiritual foundation so that all the good things you do from then on have a place to, grow and be counted. So you might be asking, okay, where does this deposit actually go? And the answer is really clear and transparent. It's used for things like printing scriptures and books to spread wisdom, helping out those who are sharing the teachings, and of course, direct charity for the poor and needy. It's basically a perfect circle, right? An offering of merit is put right back into the world to create even more good. Now this part, it's just such a great insight into us, into human nature. The source says, good fortune is hard to part with. And that's exactly why a monetary offering is so meaningful. Think about it. We get attached to our money, right? So being willing to give some of it up, well, that's a pretty powerful sign that your heart is in the right place, that you're prioritizing the spiritual journey over just stuff. And for anyone who's a little skeptical, you should know there are some serious safeguards in place. It's not taken lightly. The people who handle these funds have to make a sacred vow. The texts are super explicit about this. If anyone tries to use this for their own financial gain, they face heavenly condemnation. So there's this really strong belief that the whole system is divinely supervised, making sure it's always used with integrity. Okay, so we've got this idea of a heavenly savings account. It's a really concrete, practical starting point. But and this is where things get really interesting, this very practical idea opens the door to a much, much deeper question. We're about to shift from the how of doing good to the why. So let's really think about this for a second. You might be thinking, hey, I'm a good person. I'm kind. I try to help people. Isn't that enough? And you know what? That is an excellent question. The answer to that question is what gets us to the core difference between two totally different kinds of spiritual rewards. So here is the big distinction the texts make. On one side, you've got what are called worldly blessings. This is what you get just for having a good heart. But on the other side, there's something called true merit, and that's what comes from formally entering the Tao. One gets you temporary rewards, the other offers a path to permanent freedom. Let's dig into that a little more. All right, check out this table. If you're just a good-hearted person, the outcome is good fortune in your next life. That's great. But, and this is the key, those blessings are temporary, they're finite. It's like having money in your bank account. You can spend it, and then it's gone. Now look at true merit. The outcome there isn't just a better next life, it's about transcending the whole cycle of rebirth. The goal is eternal, boundless. It's not about making your next earthly life better, it's about returning to the source for good. Okay, so if the big prize is this eternal, permanent liberation, how in the world do you actually get it? Well, the answer lies in this really profound idea of selfless action. You might have heard it called Wu Wei. So true merit comes from something the texts call outer work. That's basically all the good stuff we do out in the world, right? Helping people, sharing what we know, being a positive force in the community. But here's the secret sauce, the absolute most important part. It's all about your intention when you do it. And this quote just nails it. When performing outer work, one cannot have the mindset of fishing for fame and reputation. See, if you do something good, but in the back of your mind you're thinking, ooh, people will think I'm great for this, or maybe I'll get something good out of this, then you're just creating more of those temporary blessings. True merit only comes when the giving is totally pure, with zero ego attached. It's just doing good for the sake of doing good. So here's maybe the simplest way to think about it. Blessings are like getting a return on an investment. You put in a good deed, you get a temporary reward back. Simple transaction. But true merit? That's a gift with absolutely no strings attached. It's an act of giving that's so pure, so selfless, it connects you to something eternal. It actually frees you from that whole give and get cycle.
All right, so we've talked about the how. It's all about selfless action. That brings us to the ultimate question. What's the what? What is the final destination here? What's the top of the mountain we're trying to climb?
This famous quote from Confucius has been around for over 2,000 years. If I hear the Tao in the morning, I can die without regret in the evening. Wow. Now, on the surface, that sounds like learning about the Tao is just really, really important. But there's a deeper meaning, a special interpretation that just changes everything. And this comes from the teachings of Jigong Buddha. The key word here is hear. It doesn't just mean listening with your ears or reading a book about the Tao. It means to realize it, to have one of those aha moments of total enlightenment where it clicks and the Tao becomes part of who you are. I love this analogy. It's the difference between just looking at a map and actually arriving at the place. So let's say that quote again, but with this new understanding. If one realizes the true Tao in the morning, one can die without regret in the evening. See? It's not about what you know in your head. It's about a deep, fundamental awakening inside you. That realization is the ultimate goal. It's a state that's beyond life and death, where all the things we worry about, even dying, just don't matter anymore. Wow. So we started with a pretty simple idea, a monetary offering, and we have traveled all the way to the meaning of enlightenment itself. And that journey, really, brings the whole thing right back home, to us. It forces us to look at the intentions behind what we do every single day. So I want to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. When you do good things, what's your real motivation? Are you kind of building up a spiritual resume, collecting points for a good outcome later? Or are you doing it with absolutely no thought of reward, just for the pure sake of being good? Are you building a resume, or are you building a soul? If this explainer gave you something to reflect on, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps us continue to explore these deep topics together. Gratitude for the grace of heaven and the virtues of the teachers. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.